What up, fellas? I want to go over this trade that I took today. Very proud of myself that I was able to stay patient throughout this entire day. I was at my setup for the morning, but I ended up just closing the charts because I hated what I was looking at. I did get stopped out at break even on a long trade during this morning. It was around like 9:55. Um, but I'm not going to show that. I want to go over the trade that I took at the end of the day, which I was able to net $900 on two different accounts. And I'll go over exactly why I had high conviction in this trade. So first of all, always I have my midnight opening price marked out. I did take this trade on NQ. The first thing that I always look for now is SMT, and we had that really nicely. So you can see here's the 21st of May, 9:30 low got taken by ES, but on NQ it didn't. So we kind of just chopped around above midnight all day until we sold off. So this is our manipulation leg. Obviously, you guys have seen the market. We've been in a higher time frame buy model. Everything's just been going up. So that's why I was bullish biased, especially seeing this SMT. Once I see the SMT, I now go on to a lower time frame. After this formed, you can see that this 30-minute fair value gap here got inversed, which is a great sign. But now if we go to the 5-minute, you can see kind of what I was looking at. So we have our low, we have our SMT low. This low should be protected if we're going to continue higher. Let me get rid of this candle because that's Nvidia earnings. But that's also important as well. We had Nvidia earnings, which I was also expecting to be bullish. No, I did not play that. I didn't play the release of that whatsoever. But here is my thought process that I was looking at. So we have a 5-minute breaker. This is a more pronounced breaker on a lower time frame, but this is my breaker block on the 5-minute. That's what I was looking for. After we had this displacement up, we got our market structure shift here. That's exactly what I was looking for. We got our market structure shift, and why is this important? This is important because we created a market structure shift with the fair value gap, and now this is a propulsion block. So we have our first order block here, these two down close candles, because we swept liquidity and then created a fair value gap. So that's our 5-minute order block. Now we have an order block created off of this order block. So now this becomes our propulsion block. So this order block is going to be the one that gives us that more explosive move. And you can see that's exactly what happens. So we now have our 2022 model forming. All that means is we have a fair value gap after displacement. So we have our low risk buy that gets put in here. After I saw the market structure shift, that confirms that I'm on side with SMT, right? We have the SMT when all this is occurring. So, and once again, we now have another 5-minute breaker here. This one's less significant, but it is also a breaker. You can see this wick fully fills in this area, and now this is what I was looking at. This is where I got my entry on the 1-minute. So, um, order block here with the fair value gap and the breaker, low risk buy gets put in. Now we have this fair value gap up here that I was waiting to get inversed. This right here causing another market structure shift, or you can wait for the 5-minute, either one. I was looking at the 1-minute. We create this inverse fair value gap with a 1-minute breaker once again. So now we have a unicorn model, fair value gap with the inverted fair value gap as well. Market structure shifts, and this is where I look to get long. So I got filled at 32, and this is what my risk reward looked like. I got filled with 2 NQ contracts. Got filled at 32. All I was risking was this low. I knew that if I was on sides, all 3 of these PD arrays should hold up. We have a change in the state of delivery here. We have a close above right here. These series of down close candles that took out liquidity. This low completely filled in that 5-minute breaker. I didn't want to see that get traded to anyways. You can see right there. And we have that SMT low that should be protected. So all this was manipulation before our distribution higher. And a lot of times you'll see like people say that you want to wait for ES to violate gaps as well. And in a lot of cases you do, but in this case I was trading NQ, which was the stronger asset. We had SMT, like I already said, And since we already had all those layers being developed, the 5 minute order block, the 5 minute propulsion block, the 1 minute breaker, the 5 minute breaker structure, the 1 minute inversion fair value gap here, right? The 1 minute change in state of delivery, all these layers that are protecting my stop loss. That's why I didn't wait for ES. A lot of the times I do, but in this case I did have a lot of conviction in the setup. And if you zoom out, all I was targeting, my eye goes immediately to this area. Why does my eye immediately go to this area? Because you can see this is just too smooth, right? Um, ICT says that smooth lines like to become jagged, and that's exactly what this is. This is just a cluster of buy stops. There's a lot of trading in here, right? You can see a lot of consolidation in here before that moved down, and that's all I was looking to target. So since this day was very slow and choppy, I could have managed this trade a little bit better, but all I did was take out liquidity. I targeted my first contract right there. So the first partial was at 17.5 points, and my last contract was taken off at these highs up here. That was for a 2R trade, and this was very smooth liquidity, right? Um, this also up here you can see stacked highs inside of here, but I wasn't expecting this big of a nice impulse move as well. Like I said, that this entire day was just really bad. You guys can see if you did trade today, you understand. So I wasn't trying to get greedy whatsoever. I have no problem taking a partial at almost 20 points, especially on a day like this. But I was able to catch my last runner off at a 2R, and that was the basis of this trade. It started from the higher time frame order flow being built up. We know that's bullish, and then all of these layers started to accumulate over time, and that's exactly what I was looking for. That's how every single one of your trades should be, and in all honesty, that's how I'm trying to get every single one of my trades to be. The higher time frame has to be in line with the lower time frame. The lower time frame has to be aligned with the higher time frame. You want to have layers in between your trades, right? You want to have 3 PD arrays at least are normally in your favor. If 3 PD arrays get broken through, you're most likely offsides. So that's why I did have my stop at this low. But that was the basis of the trade. I'm going to go over one more time the propulsion block just because not a lot of people talk about that. But it's a pretty simple concept. So we have our 5-minute breaker. And this is our order block here. Why is this our order block? Because we swept liquidity, and then we created a fair value gap here. So this is an important set of down close candles. If you look in the 15-minute, it's not there. The 5-minute is where you're looking at, right? And we also have a 5-minute breaker. So once an order block gets created off of another order block, that's what's called your propulsion block. And that will give you your more explosive move. So you guys can see the move that this order block gave after we retested compared to this move, right, after we retested. One more other thing, the other draw on liquidity could have been the midnight open, but I had no interest of holding through this. I wanted to just take my profit. But this 3 5-minute down close candles is your order block. Why? We ran short term sell side, and this order block was created off of this order block inside of this fair value gap, right? And inside of this fair value gap is our unicorn. So we have a lot of layers once again. I just wanted to go over that one more time just because not a lot of people do talk about propulsion blocks, but that was the entire trade breakdown. Pair that with an inversion fair value gap, you know you're on sides. But really nice trade. Very proud of how I performed today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.